Good morning, it's Tiffany from Untitled Starter, your place to grow your brand and online presence. And today we're going to be talking about what to do before you start your business, side hustle, or passion project. So let's get started. Okay, so most people, when they decide that they want to start a business, a side hustle, or a side project, they are so focused on how it should look. They are obsessed with the color scheme, the brand fonts, the logo. They need to get a website. They need to get all their social media channels going. And I know this from experience because that's how I was when I started out my own side business. I was just obsessed with how everything should look, and I would spend hours obsessing over fonts. Yes, fonts and the colors. And there are literally thousands of different fonts, font pairings, and I would get so overwhelmed because I was focusing on these details. But what I realized is more important is that you need to focus on your brand message. What is it that you want to communicate with your audience? So today we're going to be talking about some things you should consider before you start your side hustle, your new business, or your passion project. Okay, so number one, you need to start with your why. You need to take some time and spend figuring out why are you starting this business, why are you starting this side project, why are you starting this side hustle? What is it that is prompting you to want to take this next step in your life? This is very important, and this is often very overlooked because we get so excited about the idea, but we're not really taking the time to sit down and think about why is it that we want to do this. And this is very, very critical because your why is pretty much your foundation. And I know for me, I have jumped right in and I have not thought about my why, but over the years, I have spent some time journaling, thinking, and writing about my why. And my why is that I want to serve others. I want to help others get clarity in their message. I want to help them to be able to communicate their message confidently, clearly, in order for them to attract more sales, attract more clients, and to build more genuine connections with their audience. So my background in writing and loving to share is what really inspires me to want to help other individuals to do the same thing. So that's my why. Another part of my why is that I want to help my family. I want to build something that can uplift myself and my family. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you just have to focus on what your why is. For some people, they have always had this dream of doing what they're doing now, or they've always had a knack for it, or they love traveling, or they love helping other people. So you really need to take some time to really figure out your why. And one book that has been really helpful to me in order to figure out my why is this book called Start with Your Why. It's by Simon Sinek, and it really goes into why companies start their companies, and it goes into some of the examples of companies that have a strong why. For example, Apple. This is a world-renowned brand. Everybody knows Apple, and they're not just a phone company. They make computers, they are going into music, they're even going into financial payments. And the reason they're able to extend the life of their brand and go into different industries and different areas is because their why is really to help people be all that they can be and to also challenge the status quo. So they have a very strong why, and as a result of that, they were able to really build a huge brand and a huge following. And it's something that we can learn from as well. When we're building out our brands and building out our companies, we have to focus on our why. But I have found that a lot of my clients have struggled with that part of it because they're not really sure, and that is very understandable. Sometimes it's really hard for us to articulate our why, and that's how I help my clients, because I work with them one-on-one to really ask them questions, probing questions, so that they can find clarity. And this helps them to form the foundation for their business and for all of their marketing activities. Once you have clarity, it's so much easier for you to go out there and to really connect with your audience. After you have started with your why, after you have figured out your why, the next step is to decide how you're going to serve your audience. How are you going to make that impact that you're trying to make? And this could come in the form of products, services, whatever it is you're selling or doing, that's your how. how are you bringing transformation to the people that you're serving? And this is very important to figure out, because this how is really what's gonna attract people, along with your why and you being able to articulate that message very clearly. So after you've figured out your why and exactly how you are going to serve your audience, you need to go ahead and get started. A lot of times we have so many ideas that we're sitting on, and guess what? We're afraid to get started. And I know for me, for years, I've come up with excuses like, oh my God, I'm so scared of putting myself out there. I'm scared about what other people are going to think, or I'm scared no one is going to care. But guess what? That's just an excuse. You just have to put yourself out there. Start today. Start small. That's another thing where people think that they have to have everything all together. They have to have the perfect logo, the perfect website, the perfect social media aesthetic. No, you do not. You need to have your why and your how, and you need to get started. And I'm definitely a fan of starting with what you have. You don't need to go out and buy expensive equipment. I mean, and don't get me wrong, it's easy to get caught up in that, because I know for me, yes, I have gotten caught up with watching a million YouTube videos and Googling and researching on Amazon what tools are, what things I need. But guess what? You don't need all of that. Use what you have. Whatever your skill is, use what you have and start there. Get started today, and also remember to be consistent. So if you guys enjoy this video, I invite you to go ahead and check out my services. Like I said, my why is really serving others, helping them to communicate a clear brand messaging strategy. And I want to help you do the same. I want to help you to get clarity in your business. I want to help you to be able to clearly communicate your brand message. Again, your brand messaging is one of the foundations of your business. If you know exactly what it is you want to say, how you want to say, it's going to be so much easier for you to create your social media content, your website content, your marketing campaigns, and it's going to be really much easier for you to connect with your audience and to really know how to communicate what you do. So many of us struggle with actually articulating what it is we do. How many times have someone asked you, what do you do? And sometimes you're like, it's complicated. That's because you don't really have a brief story to connect to, a very quick and easy story to just tell people to capture what it is you do. And that's what I help my clients to do, to really to form the foundation of their brand messaging strategy. I've been doing marketing for over 10 years at some of the big companies around the world, but I want to help entrepreneurs, everyday people who are trying to just get out there and do their thing, get clarity on their message, and to help them with their marketing campaigns. Also, I have some resources linked in the description. These are some of the books and inspirational resources that I've read that have really helped me to bring clarity to you. Again, one of the books I mentioned earlier was Start With Why. There's another one called Atomic Habits. And probably I'll do a video on these, because these books were really instrumental for me to really figure out what it is I want to do and how I want to do it. So again, take the time to focus on your why. That's going to be very, very critical to you being successful and being really confident in what you're doing. So again, thank you so much for joining. And if you found value, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, let's get started.